Hey guys, Art here, and right now I'm just going about my daily routine. And welcome to the Allura Art podcast. So that was a bit of a mix-up. I am Allura Art, and I do enjoy doing these podcasts and talking my in-depths of my views in as an artist. 46 years on this marble of a planet to explain why I make what I do and create content and give my personal 2 cents in explaining why what do I do on these daily audios. So with that, I want to welcome you guys to Allure Art. As always, I appreciate everybody that checks out and supports the channel. Again, I'm Allure Art, and I'm in the Midwest Chicago, and I make comics. I make creator content, as well as I do workshops where I teach middle school kids how to make comics. It's not comics; it's creator-owned characters. We are in this YouTube world kind of deal where a lot of the kids aren't watching this television, but everything's pretty much, if not on a mobile device. So that's a little bit of my intel of when I work with kids. I just try to get them to create of what's around them. So if it is that type of world of like YouTube and TikTok and I got my tablet and I got it that I just try to get them incorporated. But I include things that I would get them to see and use. So as a cartoonist, I'm also a graphic designer. I also do branding, and I just try to get the kids to be well aware of that. So I try to do an episode about a theme, and today's episode is actually about purpose. What is my purpose as why I do what I do? Why am I an artist that creates? And I asked this question not to people in general, but not even in the art world, but in what they do. So it's a thing to look out, to be aware of, especially for myself. And like, why do I do my art, and what does it do in the sense of fulfillment, or if there is any. So I always try to ask, do something with a purpose, rather it not be art related, but in your daily routine. So I know at times I get scattered in some sorts, but I try to keep it to the scripts. So with that, I like to just talk about some basics of why I enjoy my purpose as being a creator in making art. And it's in different mediums, traditional, like in pencil, inks, watercolors, acrylics. I don't do much oils. I've used them a little bit, but I'm more of like acrylics and watercolor type of artist. But I do I do enjoy exploring, and I do encourage to try. So I was really excited, or to be able to say, "Oh yeah, I worked on oils." But if I had the opportunity again, I would try again. But my other thing is more of just traditional inks and watercolors. And as far as digital, my palette of working with clients is like for branding and logos and characters. It's digital, so it's like Photoshop and Procreate and Adobe, everything in Adobe, pretty much Adobe Illustrator in that sense. But back to what I was explaining is my purpose. When as a person that is a creator, I try to at least have a sense of like, why am I doing this? Is it bringing joy? Is it gonna change the world if it is, in that sense? But I believe for myself, when I create something, I try to give a feeling. So if you're looking at what I created, like a musician or a novelist or again a painter or someone or a content creator at that, you want to have like a purpose in that. Like my objective isn't in a negative. My objective isn't to a selfish act. It's I want to help. I grew up in a household of no judging and just do your best, and that's what I believe. And I like to think in our world we have more humanity of being more compassion, but also give a an existence of who you are. So if you know me, I'm always being I always like try to have the sense of like I'm approachable, but as well as like with a purpose. So if I'm creating a book, I want it to have a feeling. So my work in my cartooning and comics, I guess I go from storytelling ABC to I want humor out of it. So I do a lot of that. I've also done a few just more like storyboard styles where it doesn't require in the gig to be humorous. So I do like just a straight storytelling in that. But purpose, I know there's different things when I hear people, or at times when I ask, they don't know. And I feel very fortunate, and I will say at times I don't know at things, but I try to learn, and if it don't, I'm gonna figure out it down the line. But with purpose, when I ask people, what's your purpose, what is it, some people say, I don't know. I'm like, well, that's cool, I'm certain you'll find it. And it doesn't have to be the same, and there's no written in stone of it. You could have different purposes in that. When I speak for myself, like I said, I just want to help, and I want people to have that, in that sense where I want to, whether you're a kid or an adult, I want to have that sense of like, even if it's just to be there, I want to have that purpose of, well, as an artist, and again, this is a perspective as an artist is visually. So I have my character Alley Cat, and Alley Cat, for his purpose, comes off as like a little tabby orange cat, but I really want him to show expression. And I've been very fortunate to have feedback where he's very animated in this 2D illustration where he looks funny. He looks like he's like go with the flow, and they tell me that he's funny, and the feeling is like, all right, when I see him, I laugh. So okay, so my purpose there is a good feeling. I've seen it where Alley Cat on a social media platform made somebody feel great because they were having a bad day, and just the fact that how he looked, it spoke without speaking in the dialect or the language that was there. The person wrote back and said, "Hey, I was having a bad day, but that little skit that you drew right there, Alley Cat, made me smile." And I'm like, wow, that's very meaningful, and that's part of me and my purpose. I want that to make you feel, and if it could make you feel good, that's great. I know at times there will be things that people don't understand and they don't get it. So all right, well, I just got to keep I keep going for my sanity and my sake of, well, I just have to keep doing this. So my purpose as a person that wants to show like a sense of humor, I just keep going with that. So, but that's it. But that's my thinking with in this episode with purpose. I mean, I still have a list of things that I speak about in a purpose, and wanting to have something as a substance to show why I do it. I I don't know. It's just in me, like showing up and being there or creating. Like I have to create every day, and it's not a a thing that's required in the public, but it's a thing that I got to do for myself. Like I have to sketch. I have to draw Alley Cat drawing. Today's illustration is Alley Cat eating his cereal, and for me it was it's a reflection of like not the cereal part, but the gratitude of things that how he expressed himself, and it made me feel good. It makes me feel it's a really cool feeling that I can I could find joy in my own work, and I could look at things of that nature. Like I create pictures, and even for myself, I get different what's the word I'm looking for? I see different moods that I get. Uh, Making my comic strip about it's called Ale versus Ale, and it's basically me speaking to my younger self about certain things that happened in my past that shows uh, things that I share that I think for all of us we need to have that conversation of letting us know everything is how it is in your past to go forward. Now, regardless if that's if it's a bad thing or a sad thing or whatever, I feel it's a thing that we should all have that. And when I do interact and let people know about my comic that I'm doing about myself, I got different emotions from people. I thought, I got people that smiled. Even had a couple of people like tear up of like they felt it, and it wasn't anything that happened like a horrific or anything like that, but it connected them. And that's the thing of my and everything is I'm bringing it back to purpose was talking about a certain feeling and how what it is, and I just want people to feel something for themselves to have, and that's what my purpose as a cartoonist or storyteller is like. I want to be able to get a feeling out of that, but more importantly, if I can make you feel, especially feel like good for yourself, that's my objective. I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on television, but I am a human being, and I believe. I know everyone at times we have the sour faces, and we're very like nothing's working for me, and that, and we all have those days. And but for myself, I always try to look at the day like today's gonna be a good day. I gotta do my best. I gotta do my best than yesterday, and tomorrow will be even better. But you just gotta keep going, and that's what my feeling is for that. And that's my like a mantra that I talk about. Well, I talk to myself about, just to say, hey, today's gonna be a good day. I can't, yesterday was but the next one will be better. So when I do these audio podcasts, I just want people to just hear my perspective, and regardless of what people say, if it's right or wrong, hey, that's your opinion, and you're entitled to that. But for myself, I just try to make everything meaningful and with the purpose. And I think about these things on the daily basis of like regardless if I'm working with somebody online or if I'm working with my students face to face. I want it to be meaningful and there's a purpose. Like I want to show you that I'm giving you my all my attention. I'm answering back what I was told and asked about, and just that. And I just think that's part of the showing up. Is like, what do they say? Like 75% of the time is you just got to show up there. So my purpose, and I feel it, is I want people to see that I'm there to show that their time is meaningful, especially for me to give it. So, but my purpose, that's what I think about, like just to have that. When I speak about who who's it for, like I said, it's rather it be for clients or friends or like associates. Like I just want to give that in the sense of a positive, meaningful um, perspective of who I am, and that's when I'm talking about when I speak of the word purpose. So I encourage everyone, and I encourage you that if you look at your day, how it is, try to have something with a purpose. I wrote down, and I have it on my wall, on my vision board, where I say create 3 new things every day with a purpose. And I laugh because I totally forgot when I'm looking over at the picture that I wrote. It says with a purpose. So I think so. Like even if it's you get out of bed, make your bed, get up and brush your teeth, get up and straighten up. That's you're just doing these. Even if it's considered little goals, at least at the end of the day, you could say, "Hey, this is what I did," and that's how it starts. And then if you're feeling lost in I don't know where to start, those are simple things. You got up today. You're blessed to be awake for another day, and that's a purposeful thing. And if it's for an employment or school or for a person that relies on you, you are there, and that's your purpose, your value. So, but to my audio for today is speaking on again a purpose. And there's so much in this world where there's that negative and there's that hate, and it really sucks because certain times that controls the narrative. But to do that to a person, it's like you got to work really. You have to really be that sandwich basket missing a few sandwiches, or an aspirin bottle missing a few aspirins. I don't know. My analogy there is just off on there, but the simpler thing is giving the sense of like, as a humanitarian, you just want to help people, even if it's not your family, if it's a stranger, if it's somebody there's no reason why we need to be so angry. And so that, like, I can't believe what is your purpose in life, is to be that kind of person. And it's ridiculous. And if you have children and you have family and you're known as that curmudgeon person, like that's your purpose, like wow. And I do hear people that say, well, that's how it was for me growing up. And it's like, well, change that, have a purpose. Like not everything that I experienced as a teen or as a kid was all sunshine and rainbows, but it was you're trying to do something. And I just took that stand for myself that I'm just going to be this person with like a positive attitude. I'm very humorous, a shit talker, but in a good way. So again, I apologize for my I had to use um, my words there to say, hey, this is what how it is, but because it's my channel and I'm a little art, so but I do it with with again with a purpose and with a sense of letting you know this is how I am. So I'm a caring person that feels that why do you need to act a certain way to be so like down where again each his own, but for myself I have to be this person because it's in my repertoire, and I think till the last day of my last breath I want to just be a person who wants to help, and even giving the sense of just being there is a purpose. So I want my time here. I want to give. So if it's in my words, and when I do these audios, it's if it helps one person for that day, I hope it helps, and I hope it echoes out to other people. If it's being a brother, a friend, someone, I just hope I'm there as a person that my purpose is, oh well, just being there. That's there to show. So if that makes sense, you just gotta have a purpose. My purpose is like I want to be uplifting, and I want to be like if it's an example, hopefully it's something that gets to help that person. And but I think that's what it is. And like, what's my purpose? And my purpose as a little art is I create content in my art. I make artwork for myself, for my selfish reasons, and I mean that in a not selfish but a selfless reason. Is I just like to make art, and even if it's people like it, or don't like it, I love it. So I'm always creating, and it's my purpose. So my purpose daily is to be a creative individual, as well as being a good humanitarian. And when I give you my attention to talk, I am listening, and I do let people know that it's great to see them. And that's the other thing in my words is I let people know you have my attention, and I have your attention to let you know that I'm there. And I know sometimes it goes over some people's heads, and I don't have to mention names or where or whatever, but I appreciate that, and I want people to know that I'm there. So that's my purpose of like just, hey, I'm here. How are you? And sometimes I know a person just needs to hear how are you, because the world is how it is, or a fast paced kind of day. Just give that, and that's all it is. And then later on they'll go on and, oh, that guy is silly, but at least he asked how are you doing, or are you good? And you could see their eyebrow, like there's something about how it is these days more so that it throws people off when you tell them it's great to see you, it's great to see me, why, and why is it a good day? And I'm like, well, that just is because you get to get out of bed, you get to do these things, and it's meaningful, and for myself it's my purpose. So I really feel that we need a sense of doing, and not just being around. You need to do and participate and be, if that's the words I'm going with. Everybody is important, regardless of where you're from, regardless if you have high numbers of follow. Like when you hear people talk about, I don't have that many followers, or look at that person, look how many. It doesn't matter. It's just, you got, at the end of the day, you should go with a purpose. And at the end of the day, you'll see how, and it actually, you could see the ones that if it eats you up, or do you at the end of the day, before you go to bed, did you get to do what you had to do for that day? And actually, when I go over my list of the day of what I did, I actually felt like I was able to clock in and clock out and say, hey, I got to turn in pages. I got to talk with a school. I got to do those things, and you feel like an achievement, a pat on your shoulder like that. So I feel that's a purpose. But again, I'm speaking in the perspective as me, as a creator, as an illustrator, as an artist, and as a person with a purpose. So I'm using that word purpose all because today is about. I just want to talk about a purpose, and this was a thing that I have on my list of things that I wanted to speak about in my content on my Literal Art podcast. And I just think that to have this platform, it's one of my purposes. It goes back to, it sounds, I feel like it's a silly thing, but it's like literally throwing your hands up and saying that's what it's all about, Charlie Brown. And I actually do. I try to make the day of what a purpose, even if you're at home and you're not going out, but try to do something, try to organize. And it doesn't have to be recorded. It doesn't have to be in the sense of like showing people, like when I see those videos where when a person hands out food to homeless people, they have to record it. Like, you don't really have to do that, but I guess in some sense, for that fraction of that reason, is your purpose is to show good humanity. But if you're using that as like creative content and you just want all the likes and you're not getting anything out of it, that's the wrong thing. It's great, but do you have to do that? Do you have to let people know that you're a good person for feeding a person that doesn't have anything? Like, you don't have to see that. I don't have to tell people that if I see somebody outside and you give them some cash, you don't have to record that. You don't have to say it, and that doesn't have to be your purpose. Some of your purposes, if that's the word, again, doesn't have to be on a grand scale of look at me on my soapbox. My purpose of that, a lot of the stuff that I do, I don't share publicly, and for my reasons for that is like it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I did what I did, and that connection I have with that person or the group, it was between me and them. If I do an art piece outside, if somebody outside sees it, that's great. So that's my purpose. My purpose was able to show and give a perspective of what I do, and hopefully it's a thing for the people out there to get a feeling from it, and hopefully it's a good feeling. If I'm doing awareness about like just trying to get people to get kids into reading, I'll do some artwork where let's go to your local shop, go to your local comic shop, go to your library, pick up something and just bring it out there. That's a thing of like, I guess, purposeful, but part of that is like I don't have to explain because at the end of the day, I just want to be a good person in helping. So, but yeah, this whole episode of talking about that's part of me and my brand of Literal Art is I want to have a purpose. I want to have a purpose with my creating content. Is to get people to see who this person Alira Art is, and I want to show you that my years of creating, it's meaningful, and it's not just something that's a quick rich, whatever that means. That this is in me as in my journey, in my individual, and if people can get something from it, that's great. But at the end of the day, you have to go about your purpose. And I'm influenced by other creators and people that are doing stuff for the good of humanity. Like, that's cool. It's just do that. There's, again, it's just too much negative, and there's too much hatred in this world where can't believe that's how much is a thing. So I just wanted to do an episode on purpose. Literally, on purpose was what's my purpose. So again, I just like to say that I'm very grateful that people give a respond, and what they hear me talk about is all in my perspective as a Alira Art, and as a person who creates content. I try to give my purpose, which is my perspective as an artist, and how I go about things, and how I see and view things. At the end of the day, I know what my purpose is, and at the end of the day, I hope that it's you find what your purpose is, and I hope it's something that helps. Hope it's a positive, and we just need more of that. So I just like to say thank you again. I'm Alira Art. Everything is Alira Art, aliraart.com. I'm on social handles. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook and X, Twitter. I'm on YouTube. One of the things my platforms spread it out more to is YouTube. So if you guys can give a follow, and these are all on my platforms of as well Spotify, Apple. So everything is Alira Art, and this is just again, this is my perspective of as a podcast artist that talks about when I talk about content and how a person goes about. I think part of that mixture in the pot is what's your purpose. So just something to think about. But I appreciate you guys. So many things that were happening this summer as far as my creative side. I wrapped up a Kickstarter. It's my 4th successful Kickstarter. I was very happy that got that done, and that's probably one of the things that I should have brought up in my words of purpose. I just wanted to show myself that I can get this done. The artwork was completed. It was a project that had given me different emotions as far as things were going on in my life. Actually, I was working on stuff during the pandemic and the loss of my mom passing. It was, but I just felt like I had to finish this and not cut it off. And I felt a responsibility, not only to my working on this project, was given the script, and I just it was just a lot on there that I had to do. So my purpose was to finish the book. I drew it, colored it, lettered it, and of course it's created and written by my writer because it's her title, and got it done. And then we crowdfunded it and kickstarted it, and we got it funded, and we appreciate everybody that supported. So that was another achievement at my end of the day, that I was just happy that it got funded. And that was my notch of excitement, was to say I got my 4th Kickstarter. So my purpose was to create a product, and on this platform of Kickstarter was to have a new angle of how do I how do I reach people, and that was through this medium. So I'm always looking, and when I mean angle, I don't mean it in a negative like con artist way. I mean it in the sense of like, well, what other platforms can I be on to do that? So that's what I mean. So when I say that, so got that completed. Back to school. I do subbing. I sub at CPS now, and it's literally a trip for me. Like, I'm always wowed that I get to hold a class. Besides, I hold classes because I'm an art teacher, but I get to hold a class where it's other genres, and it's either a math class or it's a science class, but it's something that it's eye opening. So I do subbing now, but I still teach, and I still do the after school art thing, and I just try to get kids to make creative content that reflects them and makes them feel, hopefully they feel good about themselves, because we need that outlet. We need music, we need theater, and of course we need the arts. So I come in there with the art sense. So, but with that said, I'm gonna wrap this up. I appreciate you guys. I am grateful for feedback, and I look forward to making more content on that. With that, I'm a little art. I want to say thank you. I hope you guys have a great week and a great weekend and a great month and a great year. So, infinity and beyond. So, all right, I'll see you guys around for the next one. Peace out. Bye.